Good morning. I am here, and this is my first stream ever. I am Erica Kuta Marler, and welcome to my Twitch channel. So it is currently 5:59 where I am, and what the deal is that no one in my house is awake yet. And so because no one in my house is awake yet, it means it's quiet. And so what I'm doing at the moment is I'm doing some final prep for tonight's Monster of the Week over on Brambleberry Games. And they're taking on Hodogs. Spoilers ahead. All the spoilers. This is all the backroom stuff. This is the stuff that if you don't want to know what's going to happen in the game, then you're not going to want to be here for this stream. So what I'm doing is I'm just going over tonight's episode, making sure I haven't forgotten anything, making sure I try to do a creepy little prologue at the beginning. And so I'm just reviewing that at the moment. I thought, hey, why not stream and say good morning? So getting into that, I'm just looking over it. So the thing is with this one, it's, as you can see right here, I like to call them episodes, but it's a system called Play by the Apocalypse, Monster of the Week, and by Michael Sands. And it's Evil Hat Productions is the one who produces the books, and they are so good. Highly recommend getting the Keeper book. Highly recommend picking up the Tome of Mysteries. My team has had so much fun with a couple of those. That being said, let me go over this real quick. And I hope you can hear me. If you can't, I'm so sorry. I'm working on it. So, but yeah, this is great. I love it. I'm not alone while I'm working. Well, I might be alone at the moment. So, anybody know what they drink in Wisconsin? I don't want to just put Bud Light, because if there's a local favorite, maybe I can. I try to put in as much local bits and pieces as I can. That way, when I talk about these places, they feel real. So, the most important beers in Wisconsin brewing history. Wisconsin drink of choice beer. Oh, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel had a whole article on it. Wisconsinites love their beer, but not as much as Massachusetts and Missouri. This is the Milwaukee Journal. I do a lot of, when I Google, I try to find local sources, and I try to find folks who actually know. Let's see. And I guess in Madison, Wisconsin, they prefer coffee. And they prefer something local, but we don't have a specific type. That's because the survey was done by Budweiser, and if they didn't say Budweiser probably was like, we don't want to give someone else free advertising. Alright, Thrillist. I can have a look here real quick. Of course, this is in alphabetical order. Wow, there are like microbreweries or like unique brews have really become a thing. Miller High Life. Okay. And so what I'm gonna just do, is just add to this. And then of course it. There we go. So in the beginning here, normally whoever ends up in this front prologue, they have they unfortunately die in some weird, strange way. Um, like, yeah, you're right, Grammarly. Just, I'm gonna clips. Okay, this needs more of a break. And realize there's not really much of a transition in between this paragraph and that paragraph. So, in the morning, all that could be found was I can English, a large clawed print. In the center and in the center. Now some of the grammar on this is funny, but it's because I'll be reading it tonight. And these are basically the way I've done the punctuation and the spelling and whatnot is to tell me what to do. All right, so my team is part of Mao headquarters. However, if you were playing this mystery without the Mao storyline, your goal would be to keep the Hodogs from killing everybody at the music festival. And spoilers. I can hear my cat kind of wandering. Sometimes he'll come and sit in front of me while I work. I'm really lucky there's enough space between my keyboard and monitor that he feels close enough, but he doesn't like lay on my keyboard. So it's a happy compromise. So Cass, yeah, that's what she needs at the moment. She's impossible to kill. Well, not impossible. The Hodogs. So spoilers. The Hodogs in this are behemoths. We're talking Godzilla, Mothra size type creatures. Normally in like the traditional folklore legends in Rhinelander, they're not that big. More the size of like a large what are they called? The type of dog that Scooby-Doo is, who is on my shirt today, but you can't see. Great Dane. So anywhere from a Great Dane to about as big as a cow. When I do something like this, I like to really change it up and see what I can add to it and how I can make it my own. That's how we got jackalopes that climax. And when they climax, lightning strikes. So, just random things I've put into campaigns. And I need names for all of these people. Which I might let chat name them. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to let chat name like the park ranger and the festival goers and folks from the forestry service. Yeah. So, this is feeling pretty solid. And pretty excited for this. I'm really excited for this one. And so since this one's all good to go, and everybody's still asleep, yes. I'm going to copy this. I have to remember how to do it. There we go. And start working on episode 7. Okay. So what I do is, because thank you, Grammarly. What do I want the team to go up against next? They faced gremlins and jackalopes. And if I can't remember, I just go and find a monster. Maybe I should have them take on a yokai. No. Maybe. There's a really cool episode in the Tome of Mysteries where they deal with a kappa. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab a book from my shelf. I don't know if this will reach. And I'm back. So this is the Book of Yokai by Michael Dillon Foster, and then really, really cool illustrations by Shinonomi Kijin. I am so great with the English. Ooh, Park City. Could also have them take on like ghosts in the mines. That could be fun. Bring them to Utah. So the great thing about this is we have all sorts of crazy creatures, which they're not quite ghosts. Well, some of them are ghosts, but others of them are like, they move your pillow while you're sleeping. They bang on your walls. So one of the most famous ones that shows up in like Yokai Watch the Show and almost every other anime I've seen is the Umbrella Dude, where it's just like an umbrella with an eyeball and it hops around. Those guys are super cool. just because it's like an inanimate object comes to life. One of my favorites is the ceiling licker. But that's not feeling quite right. Because we're in Act 2. So the first act was establishing everybody and their characters. And I've really got to take into consideration the stuff that needs to happen for the different characters. My players' characters, when there are payoffs for them, it's just a huge, it really, like, it's super cool. I once made a couple of my people just stop talking, and I'm like, I love you, are you okay? I had to end, we ended the stream with them like, and I was really like worried. So I definitely want, so Kai, who's my spell slinger, did his training in Japan. And so definitely going to be bringing up yokai when we do an episode more focused on him and his grandfather. Which reminds, oh, I know what I need to do in episode 7. I think I know what I need to do. I think episode 7 is going to be where we deal with a lot of kind of the tragic backstory stuff that's going on. So for now, it's going to be called I Feel Fine. Yes, I'm referencing It's the End of the World and I Know It. Gonna have to figure out the location. And the prologue is gonna go until I have a better idea. And that all goes. And this all goes. And this all goes until but yeah, feel free to ask me any questions on how I do this. I just really enjoy design. Okay, so notes. Oops, I should pull this up so if anyone's reading they can see it. So for Eileen, who is my Irish goddess, and I cannot pronounce her last name. I try, but I can't. She's discovered that the Infernae family, which is a octopus, they're a vampire family based off the blue-ringed octopus. So, if you want some fun creature facts, go look up the blue-ringed octopus. They're basically the most poisonous creature on the planet. If they bite you, you're done. So, they're the most poisonous octopus. Excuse me. The Infernae family. Last remaining. You know what? I think I'm going to have them deal with Jolene. which means I'm taking them back to Seattle, Washington. Anyway, sorry. Back to notes. We are up to grammar. Planning. She now has the... Oh, good morning. Hi. Kitty cat. He's probably looking out for... I've got a bird feeder outside my office, and so he's going to sit there and be like, creatures. She now has the aid. St. George. And in this world, at least in this world I'm working in, there's the Order of St. George. And what the Order of St. George is a group of shape-shifting dragons that beat up whoever they want to beat up. But what I need to do is I have to see if I can remember the name of the dragon that they rescued from Mao headquarters in the season finale. That was Quaking Aspen. There was so much going on in this. I probably should have made this it ended up being a two-parter, but I should have planned on it being a two-parter. Dragon doesn't have a name yet. So I really like giving chat a chance, or the community a chance to interact with our stream. I love when they give input. There's always some really cool stuff that ends up coming in. So I think I'm gonna let chat name our new she's very brutal and has no patience. She is, in every sense of the word, a paladin. Evil, destroy it. So at least according to the organization that the team works for, dragons are bad. But they're not actually. They act as kind of like the law and order of the supernatural realm, but they do it in such a way that nobody knows they were there. Kind of like my ninja paladins. I love it. So that's Eileen. Okay. Kai. His grandfather is an immortal. But he doesn't know this yet. So if you're watching this, JC, spoilers. In terms of the fact that immortal and still imprisoned somewhere in the Mao organization. And let's see if I can spell organization today. Haha, yes! That's one of those ones where nope. Too many eyes. This is what spell check's for. His grandfather is more still in prison somewhere in the Mao organization. Is also now aware that the gate of heaven is trying to open again. Eileen, Kai, Charlie. Oof, poor Charlie. I kind of. So Charlie is played by Natasha, who's actually Brambleberry Games. She's the one who makes everything happen. She's amazing, and I love and adore what she does. Excuse me as I noisily gulp on stream. But I kind of dropped a bombshell. Her family life is not what she thought it was. And her storyline is actually all tied to the Fae. She doesn't know that yet, so spoilers. That is not what she thought. Her mother was killed. By the woman that raised her. Her father, Charlie's dad, is also missing, and Alpha is missing. Alpha is Charlie's oldest sister. And in the season finale, it was so bad. The entire headquarters got taken out by Puck. And yeah, all sorts of stuff. Her mother was killed when she was a child by the woman that raised her. Charlie's still missing. Just to figure out wants to proceed. Yeah. Also, it's not super important at the moment, but she has access to the magics of the Fae realm. And that is because her mother and Titania were dear friends. So if you're familiar with, I'm taking that from Midsummer's Night Dream. And so in the play, I totally do the English. In the play, Titania and Oberon are fighting over this little child. It's kind of why they're bickering and how the mortals get involved with these godlike creatures. And basically that's Charlie. She doesn't know it. But her mother was friends, dear friends, with Titania. And she's that little child. And so that brings in, at least for me, that brings in the Fae courts and all sorts of fun stuff that I can do. So, the magic of the Fae realm. Okay. And finally, last but not least, poor Stuart. But we call him Stu. He is the great-great-great-great-grandson of Eileen, who appears 19, so he looks older than his great-great-great-grandmother. So. Now, Stu hasn't consumed blood. So he hasn't gone through the final transformation. Right now, he's able to basically because of his connection to his great grandmother and the powers there, he's able to basically leech life of and emotion off of people. He doesn't realize this, but he can. He hasn't consumed. There's a couple of things going on with Stu. He's got to figure out how he feels about that. He also has a thing going on with Charlie, which is super cute, and I will continue to put them in awkward situations because it makes me happy. The other thing is he's also a key to opening up. We have Casamine, who's a nymph, and also Janice's lover. So that's a Roman god. This is just very blank overview. I know there's so much more to these different characters and whatnot, and I'm not trying to gloss over. I'm just trying to simplify for what I'm working on here. So Cass, we call her Cass, is running around trying to break these seals that basically the ancient Mao headquarters put down to seal Janus in a prison. If Stu were to agree, he could open the seals. And there's kind of a catch-22 here. If he opens the seals, then this really not cool god, in this he'll be a villain, is free to kind of roam and mess with humanity and cause all sorts of problems. And the other thing is, though, it'll mean Cass will stop trying to kill people, but we don't know what Janus will do. And so either way it's bad. Okay, so that's just a quick recap so I know what everybody's doing. Casamine won't be in this one. So Jolene, initially when we were building characters, it started out that both Stu and Kai had a crush on this girl named Jolene. And Jolene is actually a ghost. This is not a secret, but Kai and Stuart, who are both crushing on her, don't know this. Teehee. Oh, good morning. What do you want? Oh, yay, spam. Well, not spam, but yay, promotion that I don't really need right this minute. And in this episode, they're gonna have to figure out how to deal with Jolie. And basically, she's really tired of being alone. I want to say, I want to get the time frame right, so yay Google. I'm going to say 1900s is where, that's when she was around. So, Gold Rush. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say 1900. She was an early settler. And so hopefully late 1800s. So there's the actual founding of the city. And Yesler's Mill. Yeah. Yeah. So I think, yeah, so I think what I'm going to have happen, and I'll have to be very careful with how I phrase this and how this works. Um, so the first thing I need to do is write more of Jolene's backstory. Just of a settler from the late 1800s, because I need some wiggle room in case historically I've got this wrong. It's not really a big deal, but I like my history, so I like to kind of make sure I have an idea of what I'm doing and have it right. So from the late 1800s. And so we're going to say that her family was killed in the Great War for Seattle. European settlers, man, we did things, which is interesting. I say that because my great grandmother, from Scotland, immigrated to New Zealand, and they were setting up a shop on native land, and so I can understand my ancestors trying to go and find a new life for themselves. But there's also that, hey, by the way, someone lived here first. You can't just take it. And it's one of those things that I really struggle with because this happened and it really sucked. So I'm always trying to handle these parts of history really cautiously because I'm really grateful that my ancestors, like my mother's from New Zealand, I'm so grateful for the connection I have to that country. But I also recognize that not everything that happened was on the up and up. But I wouldn't be here if they hadn't. So, not excusing any of the bad behavior. Great War, Seattle. I'm going to say that Jolene was poisoned by someone. She doesn't know that she was poisoned. She died waiting for them to return, waiting for her parents to return. Oh, okay. She was poisoned by a rival family who wanted their land. And what I'll do is, okay, I think I know what I'm doing with this episode. They're either going to have to find Jolene's body and salt and burn the bones a la Supernatural style, or if they can solve the mystery of her death, I will let Kai and Stuart live. Wanted their land. Because where Eileen's house is located in Seattle, at that time period, lots of timber, lots of good stock. It would have been a really nice setup. And I'm gonna say yeah, why not? We'll throw some historical names. Not throw, good grief. I can spell settlement. And I'm I'm on historylink.org. Any party. Oh, so if you ever played Oregon Trail, oh, that means I can make dysentery jokes. Not that dysentery is not funny. Okay, it's a little funny. Then I'm going to jump back up into notes. I can make origin. So yeah, this is what me designing a campaign for Monster of the Week looks like. It's kind of fun. If more folks end up joining me in chat at some point, I will give chances to throw in your 2 cents and all that kind of fun stuff. But I'll see if I can find some Oregon Trail history facts and jokes to throw in. Okay, coming back to... they went to Portland. Oh gosh. So while waiting for the rest of the Denny party, this is on historylink.org, Lee Terry went off to borrow a froe, an axe for cutting shingles, from the Duwamish settlers. While Terry was gone, skunks ate Denny's food, and he cut himself with an axe and came down with a fever. He was therefore very happy to see the exact, but the feeling was not mutual. Women and children in the Denny party reportedly wept when they saw the unfinished cabin standing roofless in the rain. So he's having like the worst day of his life, and everyone's like, why didn't you finish the cabin? So, Denny. Maynard's a cool name, but I think I saw the Bell family. So I am going to say that Jolene's last name was Bell because that's pretty. And also has a tie. To the cabin. And we're gonna say, who was in the opposing? So, like, when you get into the history of the West Coast, there is a lot of interesting stuff going on. We had the gold rush, we had the railroad lines, we had all of that going on. So there's the Denny party. Isaac Abbey. Okay. I'm on third land. I wonder if I can find one of the references to pirates. So, in Portland, where I lived for a while, there used to be not used to be, there probably still is, like a pirate parade. Oh gosh, what is it called? I feel so embarrassed that I can't remember. It wasn't a run. but basically, Plunderthon, that's what it's called. Um, so Plunderthon is not kid friendly. It is rated R. There are things that would make your grandmother cry if she was a good Christian woman. Um, this is not what I was looking for. This is the Seattle's pirate Plunderthon, basically. Um, and they say that they say that Portland and Seattle were um, founded by pirates, not by Denny or any of these other people that I've been mentioning. So, because of the popularity of pirates, um, with like Plunderthon and the Seattle Seafarers, I have to kind of change up how I do my Google searches. So by going Seattle history or going West Coast history of piracy, I am getting more of the historical articles that I was looking for. Um, nope, Sir Francis Drake is way too early. Goodness. That's in 1592. Nope. I know, this is part of the game. George Vancouver's closer. Alright, we're getting to the 1700s. Going to chapter 2. I'm on the Shady Island Pirate Society, which is interesting. And I'm not going to use the local tribe, the Chinook people, as the villain. That's just not cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I'm kind of letting it percolate. I am going to say, oh, hey Neko. Yes, this is the cattail in my stream. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just in honor of the pirates I know in Portland, who are ne'er-do-wells, I'm going to say she was killed by a rogue. And yeah, I can totally spell rogue. Oh no, I could spell rogue. It's the spacing that Grammarly's mad about. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. This is okay. um, cabin. We're gonna say she fell in love with a wanderer she found in the woods. He shared his only book with her, and they fell in love over reading, which is why she's so in love with reading. And let's see what was out in the night. So it's not like you can just get books everywhere at this point. They were hard to come by. Not hard to come by, but you know, they were special. So what I'm looking for is books published in the late. When was Treasure Island published? I'm pretty sure that was way after Jolene was dead. 1886. Ooh, now I know what book they were reading. Timeline, it works. Neko. Okay, just so you can see what I'm dealing with. There's my cat. There's my keyboard. There's me. I love my little goofball, but he is exactly that. Hi, can you not play with the ring light? No? Okay, fine. The toll is scritches, I'm sure. So, yeah. Let's see what else is going on here. You want to just scoots a little? No? You're not going to play nice? There. There. You got what you wanted. You're a stream star. Would you stop? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, my cat. And now Ow! Why are you biting me? He has this thing where he goes bite, bite, lick, lick. Just kidding. I don't hate you. Yeah. Ow. Aw. Can I go back to writing? Ugh. I love you. You're going down here now. Okay. Oops. There we go. Aww. Hi. Yep. And folks are starting to wake up, so I'm actually going to have to end my stream in the next little bit. Reading. So the family treasure. Sorry, I'm just making this sad. Anyway, folks are starting to wake up at my house. Thank you for joining me for my first ever live stream. Ooh, things are starting to squawk. And I've been having fun, so I'll probably do this again. All right, bye.